ahead with your statement.
Today is we stand outside the courtrooms, where today we will make mockery of systems that is put in place. We will show that Lucifer Morningstar is nothing more than a normal guy that does good for communities, and this has been a whole misreaction to bullshit. We will show that Lucifer is a good man and he does good for cities.
Do you, what are your thoughts on this court case, sir?
I feel like this court case should not be happening. As you will see inside courtroom, if you're filming, some charges not filed. Not only that, but some charges were exaggerated.
Little rat's going to jail. Mark my words.
We cannot talk about that.
Comment there.
But I feel like we will get this.
All we can do is keep our spirits high and hope for the best. What are your predictions?
Thank you. We'll keep your work.
What is your predictions of the court case?
I feel like Lucifer will win. I feel like this will be a big win for City. I feel like the city will realize that there is a lawyer in town that has the people's interests at heart, and we will win no matter what. Say that Visual News be the greatest newspaper in whole towns. It'd be the greatest news city in the whole world, and this very lucky is the very best reporter.
Oh shucks! Thank you, sir. All right, I'm gonna.
Thank you so much for what you do.
Yeah, no problem.
I mean, I hope I'm gonna be a free man.
I'm rooting for him.
Yeah, absolutely.
All I was doing was trying to go down the road, go to the shop, and get unlawfully stopped, get pitted out, get left on scene for Lord knows how long, just dead, bleeding out.
Okay, that's one part of the story I didn't get. Could you go more into depth of that story, or do you want to save it for the court case?
Just let's save it for the court case.
Okay.
There's a lot that a lot of people don't know.
To a new station near you.
Yeah.
So, before we begin and go on the record, I'd like to remind everybody in the courtroom that today's proceedings will be civil. There are to be no interruptions. If you need to get on your phone, take a phone call, or do anything like that, please go that way and do your business. There's going to be no undue talking. Attorneys, make sure that you are speaking loudly, and then everything will be good. In the meantime, I need you to take your backpack off, though. It's not very court appropriate.
Or schmuck.
Can you hear me, Your Honor?
Backpack.
It doesn't come off.
I'll fucking
Lucky.
take off him.
Yeah, it won't let
Yeah?
me take it off.
If you need help with anything, let me know, okay?
Okay. Thank you very much.
It will not let me take it off.
Let me fucking rip that thing off, huh?
Hey, be quiet or get out. All right, we're going to go ahead and go on the record. Case number SACC0006, State of San Andreas versus Lucy Morningstar, who's here on behalf of the state.
Evans Odomar.
Okay. And who do I have here on behalf of the defense?
We have Rabbi Shakiras.
Okay, and the defendant is present.
Yes, he is, Your Honor.
All right, we'll go ahead and begin with opening argument. State if you want to begin with yours.
Yes, sir. Your Honor, today the state will present clear and compelling evidence that defendant, Lucifer Morningstar, committed the violent crimes he has been charged with. On February 12, 2025, law enforcement received a report of a stolen vehicle. Colonel Bird was responding to that call when he witnessed a traffic collision involving a vehicle that matched the description of the stolen car. Upon verifying the license plate, it was confirmed that this was indeed the reported stolen vehicle, providing him probable cause for the stop. When approached by law enforcement, the defendant gave an unconvincing explanation for his possession of the vehicle, but what followed next was far more concerning. The defendant refused to comply with lawful orders, brandished a firearm, and threatened the responding officers if they pointed their weapons at him. Instead of surrendering peacefully, he led law enforcement on a reckless pursuit, during which he fired upon the officers, striking their vehicles and endangering not only their lives, but the public's as well. Even after being subdued and taken into custody, the defendant continued his aggression, assaulting Colonel Bird while in a holding cell. Our evidence will show a pattern in Mr. Morningstar's behavior, and each occurrence has become increasingly more serious. This brazen disregard for law enforcement and for human life cannot be ignored any further. The evidence will show that the defendant is guilty beyond reasonable doubt of multiple serious offenses. And at the conclusion of this trial, we hope for a verdict that upholds justice and holds the defendant accountable for his actions, Your Honor.
Okay. Defense.
Your Honors, members of the courts, the prosecution has made up charges against my client, Lucifer Morningstars, with a range of offenses stemming from a stop that allegedly began due to GTA's incident. Yet nowhere in charge sheet does that the supposed crimes appears. We'll talk about later. But the dispute means that the entire case is questionable and unconstitutional at best. Beyond this, Lucy has no crimes of issue crimes. Lucy is a good man, you will see that.
Hey.
The charges levied against Lucy do not hold up under scrutiny.
Hold on.
Sorry.
For a second. You in the blue suit.
I do for you, boss.
Keep running your mouth and you out.
Lorenzo, stop.
Yeah. See how long that one lasts. Go ahead.
The charges levied against Lucy's do not hold up under scrutiny when compared to legal precedent and constitutional protections. We will examine each charge and we will explain why it should be dismissed. But, Your Honors and the courtrooms, thank you for your times at the moment, and I appreciate it.
Okay. Before we begin with presentations, is there any sort of motions we want to make before we begin with that?
State does not have anything, Your Honor.
Defense, do you have any motions you'd like to make?
I don't think so, Your Honor.
Okay. We'll go ahead and begin with this. At any point that either one of the parties wish to have the evidence be open to the public, we Zoom call, if that's the route that we want to go for presentation of evidence. If not, then we'll proceed as normal.
I feel like, for the whole court case and my whole arguments, Judges Brown, I feel like we need to do that. I feel like certain evidence pieces do need to be seen.
Okay. State, do you have any objection to that?
No, Your Honor, I do not.
Okay, give me just a second then.
You may have to zoom in if you want to get a better look. I'm going to kind of just outline some key points here instead of reading everything for verbatim, kind of pointing you into the direction of what the state's presenting here. In paragraph 1 in Colonel Bird's sworn statement, outlines how he established being made that the vehicle matches the plates of the report that was provided by dispatch being stolen. He identified that vehicle not only by the make, model, and color of the vehicle, but also the plate that matched. Colonel Bird also identified Mr. Morningstar by his own admission as well as his appearance. Paragraph 2 summarizes Mr. Morningstar's failure to comply with lawful orders. When asked to step out of the vehicle, Mr. Morningstar did not come back as the registered owner through the CAD system. This paragraph also outlines where Mr. Morningstar pulls out his weapon, which can be seen on the body cam, which we'll review a little bit later, and issues threats to the SASP troopers. If at any point you need me to slow down before I move on, just let me know, Your Honor.
No, you're fine as long as the state's also up to date with us here, or the defense.
We
Paragraph.
understand.
Okay. Paragraph 3 outlines the fleeing done by Mr. Morningstar as well as the exchanges and gunfire. And then paragraph 5 outlines where Mr. Morningstar punched Colonel Bird, resulting in charge number 6. In the evidence section, you'll also notice the following items being seized by Colonel Bird. All of these items can be viewed on slides 8 through 12, which we'll review in just a moment. Those listed in the report are 3 joints, 1 pistol, some advanced lockpicks, 100 lockpicks, as well as 68 rounds of 9mm. If you move over to slide 4, so Your Honor, I also want to include these prior reports. Obviously, not trying to prove Mr. Morningstar's guilt in this matter, but wanted to draw attention to his behavior and how his crimes are getting progressively worse. I believe that it.
I would like to quickly argue, Your Honors, that none of this is relevant to current. Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, and your objection is on what again?
That none of this can be used in the court case because it has nothing to do with current court cases.
It does not hold relevance to the current charges, but it does hold relevance into the defendant's behavior beginning to be increasingly worse as he encounters police. So I do believe it holds some ground.
Give me just a second. Let me review the rules of evidence. Under Rule 404B, the prior bad acts, it only permits the use of prior convictions, which these would be if they are generally along the same lines of charges under which he's currently facing, to show a pattern, in which he's currently facing. He's not currently facing a theft, so record 115 would not be able to be used. 142 would be able to be used. This is his bail. So 142 could be used under Rule 404B. So we won't admit 115, but we can use 142 if you want to continue with that.
Yes, Your Honor. The only thing I'm trying to do here is like I said, establish the behavior of the defendant becoming more reckless is all I'm trying to do here. So I'm not even going to go over the report per se, just the charges, which would be felony, speeding, possession of a controlled substance, and we know what he is currently facing. So, and these charges, of course, like you said, he was found guilty of. But I'll move on. I'd like to get into the body cam now. If you can go down to slide 13, or there's a link there for that. You can pull it up if you'd like. And I have outline key moments in the body cam, whether or not you want to sit here and watch the full thing as I summarize it. Is
I
Uh,
think we should watch the whole thing.
yeah, I mean, we could, if we can go through the whole thing, if that's what the defense would like to do. In areas where there's audio that you would specifically like the court to pay attention to, let us know ahead of time so we can ensure silence. Are you ready to proceed?
For me, I would like silence throughout if possible, just because my story creator will explain. You will see why.
Well, the defense is showing is presenting their
Oh,
case. So
sorry,
if they need to talk
sorry.
amongst this, and they will. Um,
I apologize.
State, are you ready to proceed?
Yeah, up to the. I'll let you know if you don't mind. At the 20-second mark is where we'll make our first stop as I explain what takes place after that.
Okay, we'll watch up to then.
Okay.
You just let us know when you'd like to pause.
Can't see what the time mark is at, so it's kind of hard.
Sorry, we're at 37 seconds. My
Okay,
apologies.
that's fine. So what you're about to see is simply Colonel Bird approaching the vehicle, finds Mr. Morningstar in the driver's seat.
Are
Colonel
you able
Bird,
to see the body cam?
Yeah, I can see it.
Okay. All right.
I just can't. The bottom part I can't see because
Okay.
of the name.
Gotcha.
Colonel Bird's body cam didn't activate at this point, so we do not hear the conversation that was had between him and Mr. Morningstar. So we're actually using, I believe it's Trooper Zeem's body cam. However, we can, always revert back to the sworn statement, which we've already gone over from Colonel Bird for the provided details in the conversation if need be. The conversation ends at minute mark 3:29 when Mr. Morningstar does a burnout. Colonel Bird returns to his vehicle as stated in his report to pull the suspect's vehicle information. You can proceed, Your Honor.
Okay, we're at 1 minute and 30 seconds. I believe between now, there's no real audio, so I don't believe we catch audio until this cruiser pulls up.
Yeah, until about 3:43, Your Honor, I believe. What minute mark are we at?
We're at 4 minutes and 15 seconds.
All right, let's just pause here real quick and I'll kind of explain them. So at the 3 minute 43-second mark, Colonel Bird, after having the vehicle come back as not being registered to Mr. Morningstar, and it being not only an exact description of the stolen vehicle, but also matching the exact plate number outlined in the report, started to issue lawful commands to have Mr. Morningstar step out of the vehicle, which we're about to see, I believe. Proceed.
Invalid registration. Invalid registration.
We're at 4 minutes, 30 seconds.
I promise you, if you point a gun at me, I'm doming you.
Listen, right now you're not looking at any felonies. But that's if you work with me.
But if a gun gets pulled out on me, I'm doming you.
Listen, right now you're not looking at any felonies. But that's if you work with me.
But if a gun gets pulled out on me, I'm doming the both of y'all. I'm warning you.
I need you to step out of that vehicle.
You pause for the record, Your Honor.
Yeah, we're at 4 minutes, 47 seconds.
Just want to point attention to at minute mark 4 minutes 23 seconds. Mr. Morningstar states, "Bird, I promise you."
We're at 4 minutes 47 seconds.
Right, I'm just going back for the record, Your Honor.
Okay.
He makes one threat stating, "Bird, I promise you, if you point a gun at me, I'm doming you." Explaining to Colonel Bird that if he points a gun at him, he will shoot him. And then at 4 minutes 39 seconds, again, Mr. Morningstar states, if a gun gets pulled out on me, I'm doing the both of y'all, I'm warning you. Again, issuing a warning to the SASP troopers that he will shoot.
Said I had to point this gun at you. I don't have to point this gun at you, but I need you to work with me.
Get Chad on the phone now. Come up here, let's talk about it.
Shut the vehicle off. Listen, Lucy.
8170, we got Bird stopping me and Looser.
The pretty much only way this is going to end is with you coming out of that vehicle.
Get a 4-seater.
Media 4-seater now. Please. Need a 4-seater now, please.
1-1, send me a 32.
Fast truck. White outrun cop type shit. 8170. We've been stopped for GTA. Hurry up.
Come on, Lucy, step out for me.
8170, hurry the fuck up because there's runs on Looser.
I'm about to do something really stupid.
154 and 153 will be.
He's on his way.
Okay.
You pause it right here, Your Honor.
Right.
Just to summarize a few things that just occurred. Obviously, after multiple attempts from what we've seen on the body cam footage, Mr. Morningstar is still failing to comply with lawful orders from Colonel Byrd. He does instruct him to shut the vehicle off, and you proceed to hear both Mr. Morningstar and his passenger, who were later identified as Doink Ross, begin communicating with individuals either by phone or radio that they need a 4-seater vehicle. After Colonel Byrd feels the situation escalating further, he requests additional officers. You can proceed.
Come on, Lucy. I wouldn't do it.
Is there any need for the gun, Bird?
You're failing to comply with the lawful command. I haven't pointed at you yet, have I? Come on, roll me a 32. Code 3.
154 and 153 en route, code 3.
Put it up, Bird.
1-1, just one of you.
I'm with
Bird,
153
put it
right
up.
now.
4, both respond. I need you to step out.
I need you to put it up.
I ain't got to point at you yet, but I need you to step out.
I need you to put it up.
I can't put it up at this point.
Yeah, you can.
Invalid registration.
If you're not going to comply, why am I complying with you?
Bird, don't make me do it now.
Listen, I need you to step out.
Pause here,
Step
Your
out of the
Honor.
vehicle.
As you can see on the body-worn camera, Mr. Morningstar starts to get a little bit shifty in his vehicle. You can tell Colonel Byrd starts to get in a better position due to him identifying the vehicle that he has in his hand. Both hands are on the steering wheel. The gun is not being pointed at the trooper at this time. You can proceed from here.
Bird, put yours up.
Step out.
Put it
I
up.
see you reaching around. It ain't got to go this way.
Yeah, you're making me reach. Put it up.
Go ahead, step out.
Bird.
At this point, it's a lawful command. Step out.
Bird, don't make me do this, man.
I don't want to have to do this neither, but you're not working with me.
Be advised, we're going to be unable to respond. We just lost a tire.
8170. Yeah, no, it's. He's on his way still.
Step out.
Why have we got guns on us, Bird? Is it really worth the guns, mate?
Right.
Step
I
out.
got a gun pointed at us.
Step out.
I'll step out if you want me to.
I need you both to step out, one at a time.
Get out the way.
I need to put my bow.
Yeah, put your gun up.
I've done nothing in this situation, Bird. You're the one coming at me.
Throw your hands
remember
up.
this, yeah?
Throw your hands up. Throw them up now.
Just walk, Doink.
You pause here, Your Honor.
Everyone walk backwards.
At this point, you're seeing a secondary vehicle approach the scene, which is suspected to be the vehicle which you will later see getting even more involved in the scene. That they called for backup. You also just heard that the individual in the passenger seat had to put a gun up as well. Here in a short few moments, Mr. Morningstar is gonna begin fleeing from the scene as outlined in the report, which is the reason for that charge outlined in there as well. He's gonna speed off the alleged vehicle that was stolen, and the chase will continue while multiple attempts to perform a TVI on that vehicle.
Can't get him for nothing.
It's all right, guys. Go ahead and step out for me, Lucy.
I'm not getting out with him. Going to the guns pointed at me, Bubba.
I see a gun in your hand. Go ahead and put it away. Now step out.
Put yours up.
I'm not putting it away. I'll put it down, but you're gonna step out.
You're putting it up before I get out this car.
It's not going up, but I'll put it down.
Then mine ain't going.
Step out.
I don't know.
If that's your buddy in the truck, I'd advise him not to interfere with this. Come on, Lucy, step out. Watch all right.
For record purposes, we're at 11 minutes and 45 seconds.
All right, we're gonna have to go up to.
Invalid registration. Invalid registration.
$154 to 101,
1080.
Pause here, Your Honor. So what you just seen is the first attempt at a pit maneuver. Given the aggressiveness of Mr. Morningstar, the SASP colonel was acting fully within his rights to be able to perform this maneuver in such a way to not have any more sorry, I just lost my words. Have any more issues present themselves and try to de-escalate the situation as soon as possible through that maneuver. What you're about to see here is Mr. Morningstar begin to shoot at the SASP officers while continuing to flee in his vehicle, and this large truck here is going to continue to try and intervene in the matter. You can continue, Your Honor.
That's not, no,
Invalid registration.
Shots fired, shots fired.
Invalid registration.
You can pause again here. Again, you'll hear the singular gunshots coming from Mr. Morningstar's weapon as Colonel Bird proceeds to hop out the vehicle and return fire on the suspect. Eventually, being able to subdue the subject and continue with the incident with the large truck behind them. You can continue.
Secure that car, I'm going for the truck. I'm at a pistol ammo, He's behind PDM, he's behind PDM. Watch the corner of PDM, I'm coming back. 154 to 101, me and 153 are en route. We commandeered a local's car. 101, I've got a suspect possibly still behind PDM.
Okay. Did you say there was a moment in here when the individual allegedly struck Trooper Bird, or is that a whole different body camera that we don't have?
That would be on a whole different body cam. It's just outlined in the report, Your Honor.
Okay, so we're done with this footage for now then?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. We'll go back to your slide then.
Yep. From here, I would like to go over the evidence that was removed from Mr. Morningstar, which would, we're just going to go over slide 8, 9, and 12.
Okay.
This is just the overview of everything that was pulled off of Mr. Morningstar as outlined in the report. Just full transparency. The one lockpick, the one advanced lockpick, 100 lockpicks, the pistol pulled off of Mr. Morningstar with 3 joints. That's his physical fingerprint that was taken at the station, the 68 rounds of 9mm, and the combat pistol actually belongs to Trooper Bird, which was the weapon involved in the shooting there. You can review slide 9 as well. This just shows the amount of marijuana obtained from Mr. Morningstar as a result. You know, he was charged with charge number 5, the possession charge. And slide 12 is just an overview of the weapon that was seized, which is also matches what was outlined in the report with the serial number there. And that is all the evidence I have to present, Your Honor.
That's at slide 2 to begin with, just so we can start with opening arguments.
Okay, we're on slide 2.
Thank you, Honors. Firstly, everyone in the courts, the original charge of GTA is not mentioned in the charge sheet right here, saying that what crime is Lucy's really running from, if no crime is committed. But we are going to go down the argument that there is a car stolen. We are going to go down that route for now. There is no car license. What? That car could have been anyone's. Not only that,
Or you the narrative or my
in the footage, yes,
under the
but where is it on
complaint narrative,
reports?
first paragraph, I then pulled behind the vehicle and matched the plate to the stolen vehicle, which was an exact match 20AEG319.
But, Your Honours, if you refer to first page of our documents, under vehicle information, there is no vehicle types, license plates, makes, models, or colours mentioned at all.
Right. I mean, this right. That could just very much be a clerical error. I mean, that I don't know that really moots anything um, in its current form, at least at the moment. I don't guess. I continue making your point. Maybe I might find something within it.
Give me a second to catch up where I was up to for seconds.
I'm sorry, you said what?
If you keep playing Judge, you will understand points as we keep going. If you can refrain from cutting in from my statement, please. You were nice enough with the states. Could you give me the opportunity to argue my case so I can say my things without getting lost in notes, lost in...
Miss Counsel, I'm going to give you a piece of advice. When the judge asks a question, it normally doesn't do too well for you to make it as if I'm attacking you. I'm not. I asked you what, because you had said something, and I believe I may have misheard it. So if you would like to make your case adequately and restate what you said, so I can make sure
Would
that
you
I'm
want
getting this
everything
out.
again?
Okay, we got up to this point. You said something about a threatening statement, right?
Oh, okay, officer. Sorry about that. Sorry about that, Judge. I misunderstood.
Okay. So, again, I would
at this
refrain from
point,
doing that in the future. Now you can begin.
At this point, Lucy is showing no sort of violence. Is my point. Right now, Lucy is behind the wheel, showing no violence at all.
I mean, to be fair, he's been behind the wheel the entire time.
Previous history with my clients and Bird, they haven't got best histories, and Lucy right now is currently scared from what he told me in his footage. He's currently scared that Bird will escalate situations.
Invalid registration.
I got a shout for this one. Bird, I promise you, if you point a gun at me, I'm doming you.
Listen,
This
right
right
now,
here
I'm not looking at
is
any
viewpoint. Thank you. This right here is not merely a threat, but just it's just like a warning. Because I'm sorry, but if anyone in court today has a gun pulled on them, ain't they going to react to that too? If you can proceed.
felonies. But that's if you work with me.
But if a gun gets pulled out on me, I'm doming the both of y'all. I'm warning you.
I need you to step out of that vehicle.
I need you to stop making this a felony traffic stop. Y'all are escalating at this point.
Right now, it doesn't have to be a felony. I don't have to charge you with a felony right now. I don't have to. But I need you to work with me.
Y'all are getting ready to point guns at. You know how this is gonna go.
I never said I had to point this gun at you. I don't have to point this gun at you, but I need you to work with me.
Get Chad on the phone now. Come
Right now, because Lucy is scared, he wants witnesses around who isn't around the crime. His
Objection,
friends
Your
don't
Honor.
turn up.
I gotta question the relevance of all of this. How does this pertain to the defense and the client of him being scared? I mean, these are obvious threats here, Your Honor. Just because you're scared doesn't necessarily mean you can threaten.
But if
Law
you,
enforcement.
the footage, it cuts in at a very late point. Previous words were exchanged before a lot of what you heard. It gives Lucy reasonable reason to be scared for his life at that point. It's not my fault that the state doesn't upload all body cam footages if it's available. As time goes on, we will talk about that.
Okay, please, because I'm going to be totally honest with you right now, defense. I don't know of very many cases under American jurisprudence where a person can openly, quote unquote, defend themselves from law enforcement. Maybe this is one of those. I'm not really sure, but I don't know of very many. And of course, within our jurisprudence, if one thing is unlawful, then normally everything after that is also considered unlawful. But I mean, if the stop here is a lawful stop, then the orders in which that the trooper's given him is a lawful order, and therefore making idle threats like this. I mean, I'm going to stop there and let you continue your case. I don't want to taint it, but okay, we'll continue.
Shut the vehicle off. Listen, Lucy. 8170, we got bird stopping me and Lucy. The pretty much only way this is going to end is with you coming out of that vehicle. Get a four-seater. Need a four-seater now. Please. Need a four-seater now, please. 1-1, send me a 32. Fast truck. White outrun cop type shit. 8170. We've been stopped for GTA. Hurry up. Come on, Lucy, step out for me. 8170, hurry the fuck up.
I'm about to do something really stupid.
154 and 153 will be.
He's on his way.
Okay.
Are you wanting to watch through all this, or do you have specific points in which goes along
I'd
with
like
your
to watch
arguments?
through all of it, please.
Okay.
Come on, Lucy. I wouldn't do it.
Is there any need for the gun, Bird?
You feeling like
I would like to point out, if you pause for me, I'd like to point out at this point, there is no, on the footage, there is no visible gun from Lucy from Morningstar. But right now, Officer Bird does have a shotgun pulled. If you would like to keep playing, please.
Okay.
I haven't pointed at you yet, have I? Come on, roll me a 32. Code 3.
154 and 153 en route, code 3.
Put it up, Bird.
101, just one of you.
I'm with
Bird,
153
put it
right
up.
now.
4, both respond. I need you to step out. I ain't gotta
put it up.
I ain't got to point at you yet, but I need you to step out.
I need you to put it up.
I can't put it up at this point.
Yeah, you can.
Invalid registration.
If you're not going to comply, why am I complying with you?
Bird, don't make me do it now.
Listen, I need you to step out. Step out of the vehicle.
Bird, put yours up.
Step out.
Put it
I
up.
see you reaching around. It ain't got to go this way.
Yeah, you're making me reach. Put it up.
Go ahead, step out.
Bird.
At this point, it's a lawful command. Step out.
Bird, don't make me do this, man.
I don't want to have to do this neither, but you're not working with me.
Your Honor, I have a question.
Yes.
Could we potentially see if the defense has key moments in this footage where he would like to point out? We've already watched this footage, and honestly, I'm really starting to question the relevance to all this because at this point, it doesn't even seem as if the defense is defending the client, more or less just making excuses for him, and he's provided no factual evidence or claims.
Okay. Well, I posed the question to the defense again. Is there any particular moments? Because currently we are
There is
watching.
no particular moment, your judges.
So let me ask you,
But
what is the basis of your
I will
defense?
ask you to if you give me time, your honors. As time goes on, I will ask you to pause for moments where I introduce each claim into this, your honors. But we do need to watch this from my point.
Does he
Because
even know where these points are at this point, Your Honor? Like, I don't understand.
Yes, I do know when they're coming up. But if you keep pausing the video when it is not my time to talk, then we're not going to get to these points, are we? Because it's going to prolong them.
We've already watched the video. That's what I'm not
But
understanding.
yes, but from your point of view, where you've had your chance to explain your points of views,
we'll proceed with the video, defense. We will proceed with the video. But if you're going to be making certain claims, I would like to know ahead of time. Okay? All right?
He doesn't know when they are.
Because we are counsel. Because we are there's going to be a buffer here of when nothing occurs, and you've not said much to the defense other than trying to make a self-defense claim about previous conversations in which you don't even know what conversations were had prior to this, and you're already trying to make a self-defense claim. But you've not said anything.
I've been told by my client, Your Honor.
Hearsay. If you were to try and repeat anything that client said, that's hearsay because you may not.
I'm not going to.
Okay, I'm just saying.
I haven't.
We're going to proceed, okay? But currently, we're about to enter a dead zone of nothing occurring for like 3 or 4 minutes.
Step out.
Once we got to quiet moments and the video is quite low, we'll keep it playing. But you see a black car appear. This is quite relevant as time goes on.
Which car?
The black Jeep that pulls up in a few seconds, which Ryan said. I'm just going to point out that in a few seconds it'll pull up.
Okay.
Yeah, put your gun up.
That?
I've done nothing in this situation.
Throw your hands up. Throw your hands up. Throw them up now.
Just walk.
Yes, this one.
Okay, so what is its relevance?
Do it now.
Just give me a moment. I'm just pointing it out at the moment for the people in the courts.
Okay.
You can't get him. You can't get him for nothing.
At this point, there is a lot of guns on two men for a simple GCA charge with no visible guns.
No visible guns?
I see a gun in your hand. Go
Yeah,
ahead.
they have no visible guns on the cameras. The people can't see guns right now, can they?
When he first pulled the pistol out, it was clear as day sticking on the steering wheel, resting on the steering wheel. What are you am I missing something that you're seeing? Or am I mistaking this clearly metallic slide for what is it, an umbrella handle?
Give me 1 minute, Your Honors. I need to make this bigger on my end.
Are you wanting to proceed with the footage?
Give me 1 second, Your Honors.
Okay. All right.
Right, so if we just keep going with footage for a moment, please.
Now step out.
Put yours up.
I'm not putting it away. I'll put it down, but you're gonna step out.
You're putting it up before I get out this car.
It's not going up, but I'll put it down.
Then mine ain't going.
Step out.
I don't know.
If that's your buddy in the truck, I'd advise him not to interfere with this. Come on, Lucy, step out. Watch all right.
Apart from the original comments that Lucy made about doming officers, there has been no apparent threat from Lucy. I just want to point out to everyone in the audience right now, from Lucifer since. Lucy has remained practically quiet throughout this, apart from a few smart comments back to Officer Bird. If you carry on with the footage, Your Honor.
Oh, we're gonna have to go.
Invalid registration.
At this point, if you pause for a second, Judge. At this point, although Lucy driving at high speeds, he be courteous to road users and hasn't crashed into anything at the moment. So, as we carry on, you will see a ramming position start from Bird and other troopers. We will see that it kind of seems a bit outrageous in the sense that Lucy isn't. Yes, he's driving high speeds, but not dangerously. If we carry on, officer. If we carry on, Judge, for a second. Oh.
1050, 1050.
Invalid registration.
At this point, officers are rear-ending the car so fast and so hard. Lucy can't really do much at this point. He can't. He's scared for his life.
Okay. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Are you making excuses for the actions of your client, or are you defending your
I'm just
client?
painting a picture right now, and once we get to the end of this video, all the charges will be brought
Okay.
together, Your Honor.
I'm hoping you're correct about this, because now I'm beginning to get concerned for your client.
One 154 to 101, 1080, 1080, 1080. Copy that. That's not, no,
Invalid registration.
Shots fired, shots fired.
Invalid registration.
Secure that car, I'm going for the truck.
If you pause for a second, judges, I'd like to point out at this point how long the officers have been on scene. when we worked it out on video, there is 4 to 5 minutes of from officers arriving on scene to getting Lucifers on into hospitals. At this point, as you will see, as Casey pulls up to my client, he is behind a wheel, downed, unconscious, injured,
Who?
bleeding. Lucifer Morningstars, as you will see in 1 second, when you press play. If you press play now, Your Honor. If you pause right here, Your Honors.
Yeah.
Lucy is behind the wheel, unconscious.
Yeah.
If you press play.
I'm at a pistol ammo. He's behind PDM. He's behind PDM.
If you pause, Your Honors. I will talk about this a little further on, but at this point, my client is down, injured, and clearly not able to run.
Yeah.
At this point, going through his pockets and leaving him being dragged around outside the roads is not really best place for him. He should have been transported straight to hospitals. Not only that, but there seems to be something going on in the court. It's fine, Your Honor. He should have been transported to hospital straight away. If you press play.
All right.
Watch the corner of PDM. I'm coming back.
.154 to 101. Me and 153 are en route. We commandeered a local's car.
101, I've got a suspect possibly still behind PDM.
Yeah, we're en route as quick as we can.
Okay, so I believe from this point on, like the state said, that there's really nothing else that changes. I mean, are you still wanting to continue with this? Because
if you press pause, I'll explain some things,
yes,
and then you can remove video.
Hello.
Right now, I'm going to paint a physical picture for you guys in the audience. That's right now. The officers are more concerned about a car that is no longer present and is no longer a danger to the officers. Meanwhile, my client, Lucifer Morningstar, is in the back of a squad car, unconscious. At this point, he should be in EMS ambulance. He should be straight to hospitals. There is no care for attention of checking his pulse, his consciousness. There is nothing right now.
Counselor,
it takes a while for...
Counselor, I'm going to ask you a very serious, and I mean this wholeheartedly, very seriously. Okay, so don't take this wrong. Are you aware that this is a criminal trial?
Yes, I do, Your Honor.
Because I am lost in whatever your defense strategy is, because you're arguing this as if you're a plaintiff in a civil case. It sounds like you're trying to make the case that the state police used excessive force, which is a matter for civil trial. It's a matter for the civil court. Your client is on trial right now. Your client is on trial for... we're done with the video. I'm sorry, but we're done with the video. Your client is on trial for 6 different charges, every one of them felonies. One's a misdemeanor. My bad. All 5 of them are felony charges, including running from the cops, being in possession of a firearm that he had no right to be in possession of, shooting at the police. I mean, but you're arguing excessive force instead of trying to cast doubt on the state's presentation. I mean, prior to the video starting, you brought up fleeing and eluding. Literally, what the court watched is fleeing and eluding. He was in a vehicle and he ran from law enforcement. You tried to make the defense, or you tried to argue that your client was like as if he was just a little puppy sitting in the driver's seat when he clearly, one, disregarded a lawful order to exit the vehicle, which he had no right being in, clearly wasn't his. He had no intentions to get out of it. And then on top of that, he pulls out a firearm. He's lucky the cops just didn't shoot him there. I don't know that they would have been in the wrong if they did. And two, or I guess we're on to three now, my God, where the reason why law enforcement pulled out their firearms well before your client did is because this is what's commonly called a Code 5 stop or a felony traffic stop. It's when they position themselves strategically, they pull out their firearms, and they remove occupants from the vehicle. This is common practice in many cities. Luckily, it doesn't happen too much here, but it is common practice. So, I ask you, because I am seriously concerned for your client. This is a criminal trial. Your client is facing a lot of time and a lot of money if he's convicted of these. And you're arguing as if you're in civil court trying to prove that they caused him some undue injury or some undue burden. So, do you have a defense? Let's move on to closing arguments. State, go ahead.
Yes, Your Honor. 1 second here. Okay. Your Honor, throughout this trial, you have seen clear and undeniable evidence of the defendant's actions, his blatant disregard for the law, his willingness to threaten and harm law enforcement, and his continued escalation in criminal behavior. No matter what kind of character statements have been presented in his defense, they do not and should not overshadow the facts. Lucifer Morningstar's history speaks for itself. He has repeatedly neglected the law, moving from petty theft to felony speeding to drug possession to grand theft auto and now violent attacks against officers. His crimes are not isolated incidents. They are part of a dangerous pattern that continues to worsen every time he's given another chance. The law exists to protect the public, and today justice must be served. We ask that you hold the defendant accountable for his actions and return a guilty verdict with maximum amount of charges. All I have, Your Honor.
Defense, do you have a closing argument?
My argument hasn't been allowed. I was getting to my arguments, but we moved on very quickly. Maybe voice is just disconnected for a second. But
Okay.
I still have I have arguments I like to make. I do know this is a criminal case with lots of felonies, and this is no meaningless civil court case. I do realize this. But Your Honors, if I'm honest with you, there's a stopping rabbis as he's trying to paint pictures to what I need to paint for the court to hear. Where was this when Mr. Meister was speaking? Like, I need the time to give my chance to paint pictures to cause my criminal arguments. But there was none of that with him.
Okay, so let me explain to you, Mr. Shakir. I, as a judge, I have to play an independent role in this. Okay? We are not in a jury trial. So you need to be making your arguments to me. I am currently the one who will determine whether or not your client is innocent or guilty. I also have to protect his rights. I have to protect his rights against unfairness during trial. I have to protect his rights against ineffective counsel. when I'm interrupting you, I'm not interrupting you to harm your client. I'm interrupting you because I think you're hurting your client.
But I'm not. If we got onto arguments, then we would have had.
What argument, what presentation do you have that will either one, cast an inch of doubt on the state's case, or two, completely prove that your client did nothing wrong out of all 6 charges? What do you have? I will absolutely hold off on closing arguments if you can pose one effective defense. Not excessive force, not pulling guns too early, not pitting somebody because they're fleeing from the police in a stolen vehicle. What do you have?
Well, half the charges relate to what you've just eliminated, Joanna. But again, they begin with, if we go from just the original charge sheet, that the car, the make, the model, yes, is mentioned in written form by Bird, but there is no, the necessary documents on the form need to be completed. It hasn't been. Where is the details on that form? It's not there other than written by Bird himself.
Oh my God, are we being that serious right now? Okay, let's look at the arrest report again, because now this isn't a matter of the state proving a case. This is a matter of me asking you questions.
On the first page.
Yeah, I'm pulling it back up and we're looking at this together.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Okay, Your Honor.
This is his arrest report.
Yes, Your Honors. And if you refer to first page where it has the logo, if you zoom in.
I don't know if I can.
It's obviously clearly 3 pages, Your Honor. Like, you
yes,
understand me?
one. Yes, I've seen these. I understand, counsel. Yes.
So under
page
it
7.
is the third section in grey. Vehicle information, vehicle type, license plate, vehicle make, vehicle model, vehicle color, all missing. And not only that, but in the list of the list of arresting complaints, there is no GTA charge. There is. Give me 1 second. Let me get the full list so I can read them out. There's fleeing and eluding. There is felon in possession of firearm. Unlawful discharge of firearm. Possession of firearm in commission of crime, criminal possession of marijuana, and battery of police officer. Right there, where does it say GTA charge officer? Yes, Your Honor.
God. Are you... Okay. For one, we covered this already. The vehicle information is a clerical error. That doesn't just moot this. Even if the police officers misspelled half of his first name, clearly the charges are his. That doesn't mean that the whole case gets thrown out. So just because some vehicle information doesn't appear on the first page of the arrest report, but clearly appears in the complaint narrative where it matters. Anyway, we'll move on past that. I am really trying to not get too hard on you, but you're failing to understand what I'm saying. The reason why Grand Theft Auto wasn't charged is because the state felt like they couldn't prove that he was the one who stole the vehicle. He didn't necessarily get pulled over because he stole the vehicle. He got pulled over because he was in a vehicle that matched the description of a stolen vehicle, and apparently, according to the complaint, to a T, including the make, the model, and the license plate, which was reported. If they were to have charged him with Grand Theft Auto, I would have threw the Grand Theft Auto charge out, because there's no way that they could place Mr. Morningstar as the one who broke into the vehicle, hotwired the vehicle, and drove it from its original location. But when the police officers have enough reasonable suspicion to stop the vehicle, because that's all it takes to stop the vehicle, because it matches the description, That is a lawful because this is the one that I talked about at the start of the trial about not very many cases happening where you can have self-defense against a law enforcement officer. So let's please hear that one.
Lucifer Morningstar Lucifer Morningstar's alleged discharge of a firearm was an act of self-defense justified under legal precedent. The available evidence indicates that Lucy only fired his weapon after being rammed so severely at that point he sustained injuries. At that point, the force used against him had escalated to a point that legally permitted a defensive response.
Okay, what
In
about
People
charge
versus Gold, Judge, was that sorry? Which one?
charge number 4, possession of a firearm in the commission of a crime?
I choose not to dispute this one. Can we move on to criminal possession of
Yeah, let's
marijuana?
hear it.
Lucy is documented on the government's whitelisted business employees list. He works at mechanic shops. Many customers give Lucy's joints. Lucy had one over. I'm not trying to argue as such, but I'm going to make a point for you judges that he was
Okay,
one
go
over
ahead.
in joint form, not in baggy form, not in raw form. This is merely personal use type thing. Like a joint you're going to smoke. He works in shop. He goes outside on breaks multiple times. Customers give him joints as tips. One joint over the limit. It's not Pablo Escobar type stuff. It's not like he's going to go and really sell much for 3 joints, is he? Like,
Well,
come
he
on.
wasn't charged with trafficking. He was charged with criminal possession, and the state
I'm
statute
just
doesn't
point.
make a difference. What about charge number 6? Do you have a defense for that?
The prosecution, is this the battery?
Battery of a peace officer. Yep.
The prosecution alleges that Lucy Morningstar's committed battery against a peace officer, yet no body camera footage, dashcam footage, or medical records have been provided to prove his claim. Without physical evidence, the charge is not legally sufficient, violating due process rights and placing an unfair burden on the defense.
Okay,
But I'm not
end of
going
that,
to
I will.
argue.
Okay,
I'm not
without
going
the
to
end of that,
argue
I
that.
will agree with you, and I'll dismiss charge number 6.
No, give me 1 second, please, though, judges. In my statement, I wouldn't want to dismiss the chances for Officer Birds if he feels like he was unlawfully assaulted. He can reopen cases in futures, but I'm not disputing that he could have. I'm just saying there's a lack of evidence, if you feel me.
Mr. Shakira, when you do get a win, just accept it. I said I'm going to drop charge number 6 because you're correct. There was no pictures, there was no medical records, there was no actual testimony provided. I'm accepting that, and I will dismiss charge number 6. But for now, I'm going to go into deliberation, and we'll handle the rest of
You've
this.
hearing me out, Johannes.
We'll handle the rest of this outside of this virtual court. I'll deliver a verdict in the normal court setting. All right, we'll be in recess.
I gotta roll for this. I gotta get some.
And we are back with the court proceedings. Hang in there, Lucy.
Say hi to Bubba for me.
Okay. Just gonna keep it short and sweet. My complete thoughts will be the in the order sheet. As to charge 1, felony fleeing or eluding, I find you guilty. To charge 2, felon in possession of a firearm. Just a second. I find you guilty. To charge 3, unlawful discharge of a firearm. I find you guilty. To charge 4, possession of a firearm in the commission of a crime. I find you guilty. To charge 5, criminal possession of marijuana. I find you guilty. To charge 6, I'm going to dismiss the charge on a lack of evidence. You will serve. Well, first, before I do that, State, do you have any recommendations on sentence?
No, Your Honor.
Okay.
Yeah.
Not even go down the other alley. I'm gonna sentence you to no more than 30 months incarceration at Bolingbroke State Penitentiary.
Okay. I can't
And
complain.
I think it's a lot better than 54.
Wait, that's all this. Okay. All right.
This was basically just like prison, anyways.
I'm also gonna issue you I'm also gonna order you pay a fine of $13,350.
Oh,
Gee willikers.
Jesus Christ! He's
Can I
fucking.
take a rain check?
He just got fired, Judge.
Probably not.
Yeah.
Do I have a trooper to come to the bench?
Oh, Weasel News, get this. Weasel News, get this. This is good.
I'm gonna have you take Mr. Morningstar into custody, transfer him to Mission Row Police Department, and book him for 54 months and issue a $13,350 fine.
I thought you said 30 months.
30 months. My apologies. Yes, you are completely correct.
Okay.
30 months.
Okay.
30 months. And a $13,350 fine.
Solitary.
All right. Other than that, this case is closed.
Weasel, get a close up of this. Get a close up. The money shot right here. The money shot.
Yeah.
And there you have it, ladies and
Hey,
gentlemen.
Spence.
The court has adjourned, and the final
Oh.
words has been said.
Spence.
Yeah, what's up?
He's
Yeah.
been-
Can I
he's been
pay his
charged
fine?
guilty.
Yeah, that was. We'll set up a GoFundMe. That was bad.
Okay, I'll be
being
outside.
fired from his job, one can only wonder what he's going to do next. But
Are they fuzzy at
stay
least?
tuned for any updates.
Oh
my
Give me a
God.
call when you need picking up, Lucy.
Hey, Dom, you serious about firing me?
Oh yeah.
No, God.
Okay. Good deal. Good. I don't have to kill you now.
Alright, y'all wanna watch
See you
out,
later,
please,
buddy.
second.
It's been. You need a ride from jail. Let me know.
I hit you up, Lorenzo. I got you.
Do you have any official
appreciate you,
comments
Dom.
on the situation?
Yo. Hello.
Lucy, what's your comment on the situation?
I need to talk to him outside. About some dirty things coming out of your mouth.
You win some, you lose some. That's really all I can say.
There you have it, ladies and